welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season, as it'll be the Tennessee Titans taking on the Denver Broncos. On the Titans sideline, head coach Brian Callahan. His guys ready to get this one going. His counterpart on the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys ready to feed off the energy in this building as they try to win one in front of the home crowd.
To kick off for the Broncos.
And off we go from Denver. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. So here are the Titans now for their first drive. Leading them out is their rookie quarterback, the young man out of Miami.
And we knew from the moment the commissioner called his name on draft night, and by the way, laid a pretty good hug on the commissioner going across the stage. But we knew he had a chance to be the starter week one. He dove right into the playbook, ingratiated himself with his teammates, and that's exactly how things have played out.
Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's second down now. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance, they're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Crowd getting in it a bit already. Here's an early 3rd and 10. To throw, here's Ward. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that's going to make it 4th down. Well, there you go, Charles, the first completed pass of his young career.
And we expect it not to be his last. Very good to get the first one out of the way, though, as he begins his career.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. And Marvin Mims deep for Denver. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. So now we'll get a look at the other offensive unit as they come out for their first possession. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And a year ago when he was drafted, it felt like central casting. Bo Nix coming to the NFL ready to roll, and he surpassed all expectations a season ago and threw for nearly 30 touchdown passes as a rookie. Fell just short with 29, but a huge piece of his team's future.
First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
That's a very nice game there, a confidence-building run. Love the execution up front, and the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Right back to Dobbins on 1st. And space tough to come by there as he'll get maybe a yard to the 37.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there at holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 34-yard line. He got 29 yards that time. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Dobbins running out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Throwing Nix. He'll find its tight end. It's Adam Troutman. It'll be a gain of 5. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Nix. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
For the Broncos field goal, a 45-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this was all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Oh, nice move. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Titans coming back onto the field for their second drive. They went 3 and out on their first drive of the new season. Not an ideal beginning as they start drive number 2, 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. That's a good hard running there as he'll push his way forward for about 5.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And the ball on the 30. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Pollard again. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. That one a first down pickup of 8.
An 8-yard pickup. And the Titans first down.
Usually we see runs like this as the defense breaks down later in the game, but this guy is setting the tone early, running through all types of tackles and put the defense back on its heels.
Well, here's a fake on the jet sweep, and they'll look to throw it off play action. Flush to his right. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
That's an early scramble that can be viewed positively by either side. From the offensive point of view, it begins to establish him as a possibility to keep it on certain plays. And defensively, they avoided giving up a huge play in one of their first tests in containing a quarterback on the run.
And now a fake there on the jet sweep as he'll give to Pollard. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
First down, Tennessee.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
To throw is Ward. This one caught by Ridley. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. Second and 6. Off the bootleg, Ward rolling to his right. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down. Throwing is Ward. He'll complete this one to Okonkwo. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
Brings up 2nd and at the Broncos' 26-yard line.
Ward. They'll roll him out right. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
As we both know, there's a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year. And part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Pollard will take it up the gut. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a 10-yard gain there to set him up first and goal. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Now, quick throw there, going to be batted away and incomplete.
I spotted man coverage on the outside. I expect we'll see a lot of that from this defense as this game moves on. And that was a good job there as that one was knocked away.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now Ward. Throw right side, caught by Ridley. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal. Another completion there. You know, we think about the draft back in the spring. He was selected, obviously, the #1 overall pick. There's great money with that, but, Charles, I would think maybe an extra burden, too, or is that not that big of a deal at all?
It actually is in the beginning of his career an added burden, but it's one of those things that if you play well, it becomes something that justifies why you were taken #1. You're fine with that. If you don't play well, it can be an albatross.
Sly able to put this one through. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Field goals all we've had so far. 3-3 now as the kick is away. Nifty move. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 44 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
To throw is Nix. Looking middle, and that's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it's 2nd down. Nix to the air. And this one complete again to Mims. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 25-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
Off the bootleg, here's Nix. He'll buy some time right. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
But that was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete. They haven't been able to stop them so far this series, but getting a nice little stand from their defense now.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. To throw, here's Nix. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on 4th down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
The kick by Lutz is good. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So we're trading first half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
A beautiful fake. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Tennessee offense set to go again. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them, not easily done.
Options galore here. 2nd and a few inches. Here's Ward. Left side complete to Lockett. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. A nice completion there for the first down. And, Charles, you think about the quarterbacks of recent vintage that have been thrust into action week 1. It's no guarantee of future success, but we sure have seen some good ones.
We certainly have, partner. How about Joe Burrow with the Bengals in 2020? He was excellent. Kyler Murray with the Cardinals. The best part about his game has his team right on the brink of the playoffs. And Deshaun Watson has won division titles after having started from day 1.
Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing now, Ward. Oh, it's tipped, but he still makes the adjustment. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 41-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
But when we see the ball tipped in the air, sometimes we get a little roll change, don't we? Because when it's in the air, sometimes the defensive back becomes the receiver. And in this case, the receiver looked like a defensive back, but ended up a receiver.
He caught it as a receiver. Hey, it worked out.
Worked out really well for them. But I'm telling you, the defensive guys,
frustrated.
Oh, frustrated. They're going to catch it in film.
63 yards rushing for him in this first half as he is looking in mid-season form here in the opener. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Gonna run again here with Pollard. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Working out of the gun here, Ward. That'll be complete to Okonkwo. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Some good, strong running right there. Some power and some explosiveness just about got him into the end zone.
2nd and 1 from the 2. The slot man in motion right. Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here. And I think they stopped him again. They did at the 1-yard line. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. Give him 2 on the play there. And the Titans are going to have a 1st and goal.
I liked his focus there because he wasn't thinking about breaking that one big. All he thought about was, I need 1. Let's go get that. Ended up picking up 2.
Pollard, he is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky.
Well, I know a defensive coordinator is going to be pretty excited about what he just saw there. Great knockback by their front. And now with the ball where it is, I would expect to see the offense throw the ball on 2nd and 3rd down here.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
And now 3rd and goal coming up, the loss on 2nd down. That just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
Now Ward, 3rd and goal. And he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Titans. Tyler Lockett from 4 yards out. And the Titans have taken the lead. A nice connection there, finding his target, and that'll put 6 up on the board.
Just like they drew it up in their playbook and reiterated it on the sidelines, right? Perfect route, a good throw, and the defense, they had no answer for that right there.
Joey Sly on for the extra point. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. That drive a long one, spanning 15 plays. And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. J.K. Dobbins leading the way as the offense returns to the field. And I'm wondering if maybe they don't go away from him on this drive a little bit. He's been great, but they haven't scored a lot of points.
Think they still have to show him as a threat Make sure he touches it a few times, but as you pointed out, use him as a decoy a little bit and get the ball in the hands of some other people in order to put more points on the board. But he's done a really nice job of establishing them with his running.
Yeah, he's established himself well. Now can they put more points up? Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Off the play fake. Here's Nix. Throw left side complete. That's Franklin. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First time they've hooked up here. Good for 17 and a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
A give up the middle to Dobbins. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he will have the Broncos first down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now it's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
They'll run up the gut with Dobbins. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. The 71 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's Nix. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. And the Titans are going to have it here at their own 15. That, Charles, the first interception he's thrown here in year number 2.
And I know it's just the first one, but didn't it feel like what we saw from him last year, where he was plagued by this type of a play? And they thought that, you know, over the offseason, going into a second season, some of that would go away. Thus far, still looks a lot like his rookie year.
The Titans offense and running back Tony Pollard set to go back to work. He's been a tough man to stop in this first half. He's putting up some big numbers already, and we have yet to reach halftime. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Out of the gun, Ward. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. So 8 yards on the completion there, and 3rd and 1 now. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Scott Hansen, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, we thank you as always, and we'll see what happens here in the second half. Both teams trying to find the right formula to come out with the victory. We'll see if week one fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Broncos offense set to begin this third quarter. It's been a tight game to this point. What do they need to do, Charles, to break through in this second half and take the lead?
Well, I think the first thing they need to do is thank their defense for keeping them in this game. And, you know, I think the defense is saying back to them, why don't you guys focus on getting some first downs, put some drives together, give us a little bit of a break here. If we can get some rest, we'll play even better for you. And, oh, by the way, pay off a few of those drives with some points, too.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Nix. Quickly into the hands of Mims. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Back to throw now on first down. That's taken in by Franklin.
I'll give him credit there. Nice job on the drag route. Bring the receiver across the field, hoping he can catch it in stride and turn it up. He was able to do just that, although he's just a little bit short of the first down.
2nd down and a yard. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Off the play fake, Nix. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field, was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun is Nix. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sutton. And he's going to be taken down at the 39, clearly short of the first by a few yards.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And that will keep this a 4-point game.
And anytime you see a kicker trot out to try one from 56 yards, you know everything's got to come off perfectly for it to have a chance. If the laces aren't quite right, if he doesn't hit the fat part of the ball just right, it's unlikely to go through, and that one winds up no good.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. To throw is Ward. This complete to Lockett. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. To throw, here's Ward. That's dumped off to Pollard. Certainly not what they wanted there. No gain, and it's 4th down. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. He'll field this at the 5. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. Nix from the shotgun. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. And they call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
Here's a give to Dobbins running right. And somehow he's going to get a yard out of this as he fought through that first contact. It's 2nd down. 2nd and 9. Throwing Nix. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. The catch and run good for 24 yards.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. That tackle by Jeffrey Simmons. They work now on 2nd and 9. Off the bootleg. Nix. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Well, the pressure just couldn't get to him that time. They forced him out to his right, but he held his poise, surveyed the field, didn't find anything he liked, and then took off and picked up a nice gain.
On 3rd down, here's Dobbins. And Dobbins, he is not going to get there. They stop him short of the line to gain. Now Lutz for the field goal try. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the post.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The Titans offense now, they get ready to do battle again here. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Oh, it's intercepted. He was trying to get it to Ridley. Picked off by John A. Barron.
He'd been having a good day so far, but I think he got a little overzealous on that one. Still young in this league. Has to learn to try not to do too much on an individual play because, as we all know, sometimes less is more. And throwing away is preferable to making the big mistake.
And coming out now, the Broncos. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. 2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener. To throw is Nix. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
A gain of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
On play action, here's Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Broncos first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
A give, Dobbins trying the right side. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
A third quarter now, a 1-point game as they line up 2nd and 10. To throw, here's Nix. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 18. 15 yards there on the catch and run.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Nix to the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That helps the completion percentage, but not much else, and now it's 3rd and 10.
It's 3rd and 10.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. And we've got a dandy here. A 1-point game as we begin the 4th. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw again. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. It's Jeffrey Simmons that time who got in to record the sack.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw up a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
So a big one coming now for Will Lutz. This for a 4th quarter lead. The kick by Lutz is good. And they take the lead here by 2, 12-10. So the drive here ends with a field goal. It does give them the lead, but this one's still certainly a long ways from over.
It definitely puts a lot of pressure on your defense to hold the lead, right? They're happy to have it and happy to be out there trying to do so. But I know as a former player, in the back of their mind, they're thinking, why don't you score the touchdown and seal this thing?
And he won't quite make it to the 25. Here's Tennessee ready to begin this drive offensively. And now they find themselves trailing following the field goal. Still a good amount of time in this fourth quarter, but this drive very well could determine the outcome of this ball game. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Wide open receiver complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
It'll be a handoff to Pollard. Got it across midfield and into Denver territory. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Now that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Ward now working out of the gun. This one caught by Ridley. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down. Pollard will take it up the gut. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. 86 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch a victory.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Now Ward. That one's taken in by Spears. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And they're going to stop him short of the first down as he's tackled at about the 21. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And it'll be 4th down. So a nice throw there. And, CD, I have to think you've been impressed with what you've seen thus far here in his debut.
You know me well. I have been impressed because what I've seen is him starting to understand how to play the game in a short amount of time. The dazzling plays, they'll come with experience. But right now, we're seeing him handle the game, make all the smart plays, and the right reads. Wow, that qualifies as a bad miss because anything inside of 40 should be automatic. That's a big mistake right there.
Denver's offense ready to go again. They certainly caught a big break with that missed field goal. Instead of trailing, they hold on to that slim lead, and now we'll see how they play this critical fourth quarter possession. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Delay of game, offense.
Of course, that flag accepted, and it backs the ball up 5 yards. Looking to throw. Nix. And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. First down, 18-yard gain. Here's a give to Dobbins. And he stopped immediately there. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They'll go play action with Nix. He finds Sutton crossing the formation complete. Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Here's Dobbins. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43. From the 43, here's a 2nd and 9. Here's Nix. He'll get that complete to Franklin. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And it's 3rd and 4 now.
Brings up 3rd and 4.
Now it's Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. 17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. They go back to the ground with Dobbins. And he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 8. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kevin Winston. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, how about that? You use a high draft pick on this guy back in April, hoping he'll grow into a role as the season progresses. And now look at this, a pick 6 in his very first NFL game.
Sometimes the evaluation doesn't match what the kid brings to the table. He progressed quickly.
Now Joey Sly for the point after. And the lead is up to 5. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. Able to slither by. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And they have to try and move past that pick 6 because now they're dealing with a 4th quarter deficit. And they need this drive to end in points. Throwing after the interception. Nix. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up 2nd down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Back to throw. Nix flushed out right. It's just a gain of a couple there on the scramble, and now it's 3rd down.
I'm not quite sure what he thought he saw there, but the reality was certainly a much different picture than what he anticipated. And give credit to the defense. They were down on the flash when he broke out of there, and they forced him out with almost nothing to show for his efforts.
Oh, and this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter. From the 35, here's 2nd and 9. Ward. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Here's Ward. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jahdae Barron. And the Broncos are right back in this football game. Well, holding on to the lead at this stage in the 2nd half, those are the types of plays you really want to try and stay away from.
And when you're a rookie, keeping your focus is something that you still have to work on all the time because there's so many distractions around you between the crowd noise and your coaches and your teammates. But the other part, you've got to learn how to finish. It's the 2 F's for a rookie quarterback.
So the Broncos now down by 5, 2:24 to go. How costly of an interception will that be? It's time to find out. 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. They'll try again here. 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Nix. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes. And we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They face a critical 3rd down now, needing a score here in the late going. He'll look to throw. Finding Sutton. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good for a Broncos 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
He's back to throw. And this one's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a non-stop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 33.
That's good. We're on Denver Broncos. First and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
They'll look to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Incomplete. It leads to 2nd and 10.
Back to throw. Sliding out of the pocket. Going right side here, and that's complete. Well, this one's had a season's worth of thrills already, and it's still week 1. Here's third down now. Back to throw. And this one complete again to Mims. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 20-yard line.
That's another Denver Broncos.
And now they'll shift things around.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. That's taken in by Franklin. And the Broncos are going to be set up with a first and goal here as the tackle made at the 9. Nix looking to throw again. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for but couldn't secure it. And this one's over. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for week 1, and one of our early window games here in week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between week 1 and week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for the Titans, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.
Fox Sports thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League. For NFL news and highlights, go to NFL.com.